I decided to make this video because there are some important things that you need to be aware of when it comes to vocabulary. So in the task of learning Spanish, we're faced with a pretty major problem, and that is vocabulary. Now, the cold, hard, harsh reality is that in order to have regular conversation and to be able to handle most situations, we need about 2,000 words, like a bank of vocabulary with about 2,000 words, plus a few hundred verbs on top of that. So the challenge is, how on earth do you remember it all? Now, as we've already been through a technique called pathways, remember from level 3 on how to remember vocabulary, that is extremely important. So if you need to just refresh your memory on that, I highly recommend you go back and watch that video again, level 3, how to remember vocabulary, because we're going to be using that technique a lot to help you retain words long term. Now, learning vocabulary, we have this task ahead of us, right, where we need to be able to collect this bank of words together so that we can call on it when we're in conversation. And we're going to use two methods for that. The first one is the picture vocabulary, where we're going to use my personal photos from places I've been or things I've done, and we're going to identify what's in the image and talk about the actions that are occurring within the image. And we have two examples of that coming up very soon. Then on top of that, we're going to do vocabulary dumps, where these are going to be set at 100 words at a time. And again, I will help you with pathways back to those words. So it's very important as we go through vocabulary that you spend a minute visualizing the pathway back to the word that I give you, or that you create your own. So it's a little bit of work at the beginning, but it pays off big dividends in the end, because you find in a lot of cases you'll only have to learn the word once, and from then on you'll be able to recall it. So it's very important that as we go through the vocabulary, you do invest a little bit of time to create a strong pathway back to the words that we learn. Aside from creating a pathway, it's also very important that you revise your vocabulary often. So you can either go back through the videos, or I'm also going to give you PDFs that you can quickly flick through to test yourself in just a few minutes on any vocabulary section that we've been through. So it's extremely important that you revise and that you get your mind into the habit of recalling the words that we learn. We're going to warm up with two examples of picture vocabulary. One will be set in New York, and the other one will be of an image in Cancun. And then in level 5, we'll move into the larger vocabulary dumps, where we have 100 words at a time, plus we will do more picture vocabulary just to mix it up. On top of all that, we have lots more fun to come with verbs, because I have a lot more handles to give you, and you should find all in all that it's a lot of fun to go through it.